Very good morning, students. Today, this is lecture 4 and day 4. I welcome you all in today's session. Today, we will learn about the nature and significance of communication process. So, this is very important day for today to understand the different significance and the nature of communication process. As you know, nature means how this communication process works. As we know that communication is a natural process. Everybody means each and every living organism on this earth interact each other by any sign, symbols, by audio, by or other means. As we know, the different animal they also interact. Cows they also interact. Birds they chirps. They also interact in each other. Means different by using different symbols and signs. So as we know that we talk about the nature of communication. So communication is a natural process. So it is not a artificial. Each and every living organism on this earth they communicate each other. The another important nature of communication is it is a two-way process. As we already heard about this word, we have learned that communication is a two-way process. Means here two parties are required, two persons are required. One is sender, second is receiver. Because without feedback or without having the audience, the communication process cannot be completed. So it's a vice versa. It is a two-way process. Communication is dynamic. As we know, how it is dynamic? It's dynamic because without communication, we cannot share our feelings, your ideas, or any fact in the society. So it's a very dynamic process. Whosoever a good communicator can affect the public. He can put a good impact upon the public, and on that basis, he or she can be judged a dynamic personality also. Because good communication skills leads to a good personality also. So that's why it's a dynamic process, and it provides a good energy to the people. Communication irreversible means it cannot be take back. If you have spoken something, if you have shared something, that cannot be taken back. So it's very important. So whatever we are going to communicate, we must be very sensible for that, must be a responsible communicator during the talk. Communication is contextual. Why it is contextual? Because it depends. If it is a humor, then the communication will be in humorous mode. If it is a sad situation, then communication will be also in a sad situation. So in this way, it depends upon the context, means in which context we are going to interact. So that is more important. We should always be more sensitive on that part. So we should understand that communication is a contextual. If somebody is not in mood to listen you, don't try to bound him. If he is interested, she is interested, then try to communicate your message. Otherwise, don't bound others to make communication or to get response of your message, because it is contextual. In the both parties or both persons must be ready to hear or to interact, then only the communication process can be started or this communication process may happen. So that's why it is a more contextual also. Now we are coming to understand what is the significance of communication process. What are the significance of communication process? As we know, the communication process is important because it helps people to share their information, ideas, which can lead a better understanding, collaboration, and problem solving. So that's why it's very important. So must know communication process. It's also important to build a relationship. If we want to build relationship in the society. For that, communication is very important. Communication helps people to share their experiences, needs, feelings, and can lead a stronger bonds in the society. So it's required for building a relationship. Resolves conflicts. Yes, communication is also very important. To clear communication can help avoid misunderstandings and conflicts in the society. If somebody is not getting the right message, he may see annoyed with you. In that sense, or in that case, you may start communication. You can initiate any communication either directly or either with your helps or your colleagues. You can start that particular communication, and that can resolve your conflicts or your problems. So that in that point, on that view also, it is very important. Even communication also enhances the decision making. How? Because the effective communication helps ensure that the right information reaches the right people, which can lead to a better decisions. If the information is right, that is correct, that is trustworthy, that and being communicated to at right place, then definitely it may work and it will be effective to ensure the decision making. It also improves the productivity. The good communication process improves productivity. The effective communication can help people to be more productive in their personal and professional lives. If you are more interactive, then definitely you become a productive person. It improves productivity in the society, and people will help you out in all the sense of life, in all the walk of life. So, well, we are already learning about the nature of communication. We have gone through this particular topic, how we can visualize the nature of communication. As we know that communication is very important for our life, and what nature of communication may be there, and how it can be perceived, how it can be understood by us. That is also very important part to understand. So let's have discussion on what is the meaning of nature of communication first. What do you mean by the nature of communication? And how we can understand the nature of communication? The nature of communication refers to the fundamental characteristics, qualities, and essential aspects that define how communication occurs. Means the nature of communication refers to the fundamental characteristics. What are the fundamental characteristics? What are the qualities? And what are the essential aspects that define how communication occurs? It encompasses the way in which information is transmitted or received and understood between individuals or group. That is also very important to understand. In which way, or the way in which information is transmitted or received. So that is a part of your nature of communication. This includes the modes. If we talk about the different modes of communication, they may include that verbal communication. Verbal means the communication that is done by using words, voice, sounds. That is called the verbal communication. So this is the modes of communication. Means what mode has been included. That is also part of nature of communication. The next mode is non-verbal. Non-verbal means where we will not use any sound, any words. We will use other body parts for transmitting our messaging. Like making eye contact, shaking hands, gestures, postures. These are the non-verbal communications. Indications to call somebody, to stop somebody, to scold somebody. These are to make mum somebody. These are the non-verbal communication. Then written, the modes written. Written means sending any message in the written form by letter, by email, or by any other postcard likewise. So these are that may be a written modes of communication. Then visual. Visual means we have visualized the 7 posters, leaflets, charts and all, hoardings, blackboard and all. So these are the visuals by which we can receive a message. The different symbols are there, the visuals that can be shown us. The process means by which that message is being sent. Sender, message, medium, receiver, feedback, these are the process. And the purpose means for what purpose that message was conveyed. That message was informing, persuading, entertaining, or for expressing something. So these are the things that reflects the nature of communication, when it was held and why it was happened. Followed by understanding the nature of communication helps in recognizing its complexity, the importance of clarity, context, and the dynamic interaction involved in the effective exchange of ideas and information. So that's why to learn the nature of communication is very important, means how any message is being built, developed, structured, and for what medium it was sent, in what context it was sent, for what and how it is being perceived by a audience or receivers. So these all the things then we will accumulate at a one place, we assemble at one line, that will hold called as a nature of communication. The next thing is that how to identify the suitable nature of communication. As we know, the communication is dynamic in process. It is eternal. It is never ending. So these are the nature of communication. But how it can be identified and which one is the suitable nature of communication? So for that reason, we should go through different points to find the suitable nature of communication. Likewise, identify your purpose. First of all, we would need to understand, to identify the nature of our purpose, the purpose of our communication. What is this? Clarify what you want to achieve. That is any information, persuasion, entertainment, or for building any relationship. So on that basis, we will frame a message, we will structure a message, we will write a message to the audience. If it is for relation, then message will be different. If it is for entertainment, the words of that message will be different. If it is any information, obviously the word or the terms used in that particular message framing will be different. So if we, first of all, we would need to identify our purpose, and after selecting the purpose, after clearing our purpose, we will write our message, we will structure our message, then we will move further. So it will be good for understanding the suitable nature of communication. Understand your audience. The next important point is that we would, next step after structuring the message, we would understand that whom we are going to send our message. Consider their age. What is the age group? to whom we are going to send that message. Either it will be suitable for them or not. It is built for the children, for motivation of the children, for motivation of the adults, for motivation of the old age person, likewise. So it will be decided after seeing the age group of that audience. Education level, either it is good for the professionals, either it is a message for students, for children, for likewise. So education level is also very important point to understand the audience. Cultural background, whom we are going to send message, what is the cultural background of these people, from which culture they are belonging. Language proficiency, in which language they are proficient, they are comfortable in understanding. And preferences, means what they are want to prefer, either knowledgeable message, either entertainment, or either any other information or awareness, likewise, or any social cause. So in this way, we would need to understand audience. According to that, only message will be framed. So for that, we will need to tailor our tone, language and format accordingly, so that that message can be sent to the ultimate users and it will be effective. So this may be a way to identify the suitable nature of communication. Assess the context. Assess the context means determine whether the setting is formal or informal. Means whom we are going to send the message, that is person is formal or informal. Consider the medium, means on what medium we are going to send message, that is face to face, that email, phone call, social media or any presentation form. So in this way, we will assess the context, we will assess the age group or understand the audience, and after identifying the purpose, when all the things will be streamlined, then the suitable nature of the communication may be identified. The next question is, the next important point is, choose appropriate communication style, means on which style we would like to communicate. That is formal communication. The formal communication deals with the professional reports, business meetings and official letters. So that communication will be a formal communication. So in this, if we want to communicate any message in professional territories or for business purposes or officials, then formal communication will be required. The communication style will be formal communication. And informal communication, if we want to chat with our friends, if we want to make any casual conversation or any social media interaction on WhatsApp, Facebook and all, so this will be informal communication. So that communication style will be informal communication. Written versus verbal, use written communication for records and detailed information, verbal for immediate feedback and personal touch. Written communication is always authentic and more durable. If we have made any letter, we have written a letter, we have sent a letter, then it will be more visible and will be more maybe used for a long time. And if it is verbal, that can be for short period of time. It cannot be recalled after some time. But written, it is a permanent communication. If somebody has received your message, your letter, that can be reserved for a long time. So it will be a permanent communication. So verbal communication is for the immediate feedback and personal touch. So either which communication modes we want, which communication style we want to prefer, on that basis we can decide that should be written or verbal as per the need of the context. The next is non-verbal cues. Yes, non-verbal cues means use body language, facial expressions and gestures where appropriate. It uses where there are a lot of noise is there. At that time you can make handshake, and by indicating by hands you can call somebody. For stopping in traffic you can raise your hand and you can make indication to stop somebody or to call or to get forward somebody. So these are the non-verbal cues. It depends upon the different communication styles may be appropriate in different contexts. For that we should understand these different styles. The next point is the match tone and language. Use the respectful language, clear and concise language always. Adjust formality based on audience and purposes. Yes. The next is consider cultural sensitivities. Cultural sensitivity is very important. Be aware of the culture norms and communicate style to avoid misunderstandings. In few cultures, any indication may be positive and another culture that may be a negative. So we must be aware during our communications, means somebody is belonging to different cultures. So we should take care of his culture, her cultures. Accordingly, we should be utter our words. We should start our communications. Seek feedback and adjust. Yeah, observe response and clarity if needed. That is also important to understand the style of communication. And be flexible and willing to adapt your communication approach. We always should be willing to adapt with communication approach. So this is all for today. We got to learn about the different communication styles, how we will prefer the communication, which communication style we would need to choose, and as per the need of the context, different style of communication may be adopted, may be used, may be followed for better communication. So this was we discussed about the significance of communication and what is the effective communication. Now here we can questions may be there for discussion that describe the nature and significance of the communication process. This question may be asked in your examinations, and you can write the nature of communication that we have provide you in bullet forms, and followed by what are the significance of communication process. You can write easily during your examinations, and these can be shared with your colleagues, with your friends. You can continue discussing with these, and by using these skills in your nearby students or society, you can improve your communication skills. So this is all for today. Thank you so much. Namaskar.